What's up, everyone? It's Kanan,
It's Jessie.
and we're the Geeky Saiyan couple. And we usually don't do drama videos. Usually, any kind of drama that we are either involved in or have knowledge of, it's usually Ruby related. And for once, it's not Ruby related, but this is a story that Jess has been following for a good few months, and it's something that's kind of close to our hearts because you all know me and Jess are con goers. We've not yet posted our videos for Yamacon yet, but we're having trouble getting the video off our camera onto Jess's computer, but we'll try and have that up soon. But I'm sure we've mentioned it in videos before, but there is a con that's held every January in Columbus, Ohio, that me and Jessie used to go to every year. I think the last one we actually went to was January 2020. Yeah, right before the world shut down.
That's when I debuted Blake. I placed in Blake.
Yep.
It was just...
The theme of it was the Roaring Twenties, and while we were still there is when the country started shutting down, really. Me and Jess were actually worried. Like, we didn't know how far they were going to go. We didn't know if state lines were going to be closed and we were going to be stuck in Ohio for who knows how long.
Because there was some pretty vague,
they were
things.
closing stuff like sit-down restaurants at that point.
But there was, vague statements so we didn't know, was this going to be closed? Were they going to close off access to getting to places? We didn't know. So we ended up taking an extra day or so because we were advised pretty much for my job, we were going to have a meeting and most likely everything was shutting down. So but that's where...
But that was the last time we went, and that's, part of our con memories. Hey, we were going to one when things started going downhill. And we've got a lot of fond memories from Ohayocon, but Ohayocon has also been a pain in the ass sometimes. They've had very weird rules for a long time. They're the only con we ever went to that did not allow fan art in the in Artist Alley.
From my understanding, something happened in the past where somebody got in trouble, or there was another con that they had targeted at that. But the thing is
But you never hear about that now. Fan art is
no,
everywhere.
I do, as an artist, see both sides of it. I see they want to push original art, which is great. I love to see original art pushed. But there's also the other side where you like to see the fan art too. It's nice to see that artist that does original art, see their style in their fan art. So,
And also, a rule that pissed Jess off a lot for photo shoots was, even though you got a badge, the badge was pretty much for show. You had to wear a wristband that they gave you. And when you would go into things like the gaming room, the dealer's room, anything like that, they had to see the wristband. They didn't even look at your badge. And
they finally got rid of that.
Yeah, they did eventually get rid of it, but it was for many years a pain in the butt because the people who would put the wristband on you, they wouldn't, I guess, not be thinking and put it on top of your costume that you were wearing. And so you were stuck having a wristband in photo shoots that you would have to edit out of your pictures later.
Well, also anyone that wore armor, fursuits, you couldn't have the easiest access to get to that. But there's also the other issue I had besides photo shoots is I have sensitive skin, so whatever they were using for the bands, I'd break out badly. So it got to the point I said, hey, you're gonna have to let us, those of us that can't do this, put them on lanyards. And they did, but they had to write your last name and your driver's license number on it or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was. It was stupid, but it was a valid concern because there was some people that actually full on broke out and actually had to go get it treated by the hospital because of allergic reactions. But I'm glad that they did away with that. But then that's when things also started to change. I think the last 2 years they stopped the wristbands that we went, and then that was it.
So we have not been since 2020, and very early last year, we talked about maybe going this year because it just happened. This is Monday, the 22nd. It just ended yesterday on Sunday. But,
We were supposed to go last year, but we canceled very early on because of the restrictions that they were putting in place. And there was some, that's actually where a lot of this that we're going to talk about started last year.
So Jess has been following this way more than me. I'll mostly just comment on the pictures that many people and the information that many people have been posting who actually attended. But this is a story that seems to have a lot of greed behind it and a lot of ill intent by the con head, the person that is running this now. So I'm going to hand it over to Jess. I'll give my commentary on what I think I understand. So yeah, you've got the floor, hon.
I'm not going to go into the mess that started most of this because it is pretty publicly known. I mean, anyone who wants to tell me that we're wrong, well, screenshots don't lie. You can delete them and they're not going to disappear. Sorry, too many people have them documented. But it all stems from some staff issues, and I'm sorry. We fully support volunteers, the staff, everyone who helped make that con happen. Those people. There was a lot of mistreatment. And the thing is knowing staff as I did, like staff in other departments, but they suffered a lot. There was a lot, especially the year that we didn't go because of the restrictions. There was a lot of them that didn't even feel comfortable going because of how they were treating them versus like other people. But since then, a lot has come out. People were fired. People quit because of the work conditions and stuff like that. Over little things, they were also getting covered. Like, they'd say it was the design that was released. No, the truth was leaked. The truth of everything behind the scenes was leaked, and it's pretty much like, okay, here's... this doesn't exist because my eyes are closed. So it was all hidden away. But come this weekend, we knew... I've been watching, so I wanted to see how things went. So there is some screenshots because the people have been asking. We want to support the artists and things like that, vendors that, like the dealers that they couldn't get out of this, which I have documented here too. If we do find a full-on list, one of our screenshot has a list of some of the artists that people were able to get a hold of, that you could buy offline or that were there. We will keep up on that, so that way I'll try to add links to the description should I come across them. It's just a matter of trying to find them list. They're really trying. But apparently a number of things started happening. We started seeing pictures. Like, the con center was just empty. It was a ghost town. And apparently they claimed that they were lifting the refund ban, and that wasn't happening either. So if you want to start the pictures,
start from the beginning about unionizing and stuff like that.
Well, the staff and stuff that were part of everything, they were trying to unionize to make everything better for everybody. I still don't fully understand some of the stuff just because I wasn't in like the discords and stuff like that, but I had people I knew well that were a part of that. But they were refusing outright any type of unionizing, but that was also pulling out more of the behind the scenes, the harassment, the abuse and stuff that a lot of the staff were suffering. If you're gonna staff leading also to volunteers, if you're gonna treat your staff like that, they're not gonna stay, they're gonna leave, which that was finally the last straw at this point. That's why everyone jumped ship. Like, you saw the list of departments. Suddenly, there's nobody there for any of that. So, like, someone like me, like accessibility stuff, or somebody else that needs something else, panel heads, anything, all of it's gone. Like, this leading up to before the even con started happening, like when all of this junk started coming out. And that leaves when you have questions even before, how are you supposed to have those answered? There's nothing. Like, and it just, everything, like, there was supposed to be live streams by the con head. every time something came up suddenly when that was supposed to happen, answer questions. All comments are locked. You can't comment on anything they post. Or during the con, they were limited or completely either limited or shut off.
We'll start where the staff who wanted to be unionized all got fired.
Yeah, that was a part of that.
Yeah, and to the point where they were asking the vendors themselves to staff the con.
Yeah, and don't get confused with like dealer vendors. Those aren't the vendors they were asking. They got to the point where they were losing after the people they fired. Everyone left. They were going outside and asking like third-party vendors, like somebody for like a security group and like a gaming group and like other people. They wanted them to run the con with the, supposed safety of everything, which again will come into play too. They was outright pretty much said that we don't need anybody. We can run this ourselves. There is some people out there that believe that everyone else is in the wrong and the con's fine. No.
So pretty much leading up to the con, this all got out. Like, people found out about it. Like, there was no way no one was going to not find out about it. I don't know if the con had just expected naively that no one would snitch. I don't know.
She covers it up, and the thing is, every time something comes out, there's some type of cover over it. The blame is of this icon that somebody made that they released without permission or something that along those lines, where it was a Ohayocon symbol, because there was a lot of issues with the original symbol that it looks like Red Cross. So that was a huge issue, and a lot of people just changed the image inside, and it was a Sakura blossom. Everybody was loving that because it gave a bright new identity to that beloved con. Mm-hmm. I loved it. It's beautiful. And then after that came out, that was the cover up. There was a lot more things, and then the memes started, which I didn't save those memes, but you can go back through. It says I'm a graphic designer with these new emblems. It's terrible. I'm sorry. You can get a kid to do something in paint better than some of the things that they did. And that was it was all sliding downhill. And I know, like I said, again, there's some people are going to tell me that I'm wrong. Go look at everything that's been documented. I'm sorry, the proof's there. Yeah, there's two sides of every story, but not when the main people are outing themselves. Like, personal emails that were sent to staff has come out. So it's all led up to this.
Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of people found out. I think a lot of people went just to see what it was going to be like. Which, of course, the main people I really feel sorry for are the vendors who attended, who couldn't get out of not being there.
Which I found some details on that, too, so we will touch upon that.
Who probably didn't make what they normally would to pay for their space and all that at the time they took off to be there. So yeah, we do got some pictures that Jess took off from a group on Facebook called pretty much Ohayocon Dumpster Fire. Now, I tried to, if anyone's face is in the pictures, I tried to make them smaller so you can't really tell who they are.
Most of the other ones, the faces are turned or they've been blocked out. But like,
if someone's name is in it, I tried to make it to where you couldn't see it. Though for some, I can't do that. But Jess is the one who got these screenshots, so...
credit to everybody who did post this, because there was actually a post that I saw last night that said, some YouTuber archive all of this and get on that. And I know there's going to be several of us that do that, but since this is such a beloved con to us...
that we've actually went to.
Yes.
Okay, so this first one is pretty much... Now, this is like the main, like... I don't want to say main area. It's near where one of the hotel, like you walk out from one of the hotels, because one of the hotels is connected.
It is a main lobby, because you got the hotels, you got the grand staircase that they did, plus the food courts on the other side, and it leads to all the main hallways to get to the main convention center. So it's a main hub.
And usually, during a con, even on Friday, this area is full. Not so much here.
This picture also, like, knowing how Ohayocon used to run, the back of this room, like, if you look straight back where the camera's pointing, there's always the accessibility table.
There's nothing there.
There's usually there's an information table along the other side. There's usually another one that's got just maps on it. Like, yeah, it's gone. Nothing's there.
You can't even tell a convention is going on, because usually in this room also they have like signs, you know, the name of the con, the year. They've got all this other stuff.
Directional banners, like...
Yes,
yeah.
There's nothing. This looks like a bunch of people just hanging out in the convention
I have to
center.
say, and the things is, I mean, ghosting's not the right thing to do, but a lot of people ghosted this con because they wanted to see what was happening, and it ties into refunds. That's another thing is, I think it's one of the first things is, a lot of people put in for refunds even though they were told that, originally they won't refund a badge. They were allowed to have that. Well, several people online have posted they've gotten this generic email. Nobody has yet to get a refund. So a lot of people that have paid for a badge, they went because they weren't getting the money back.
And also, as someone comment on that, anything posted on Ohiocon's actual Facebook page, all of the comments are either disabled or they've limited.
Yeah, I did screenshot one that says that.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah.
So this is the same picture. Like I said, you can see some people's faces in it, so I made it a little bit smaller. But yeah, like we've been in this room hundreds of times, and
you're lucky to find one of the little blocks to sit on just to take a break.
And like there's usually people that have set up music and are dancing.
Yeah, this whole center middle area, they usually have like K-pop stuff and someone playing music, and they're allowed to do it. Matsuri-con still does it too.
Now this next picture is going to be the whole. It's going to cover us guys, but we'll talk over it. Okay, this right here. You said this was taken at 3 p.m.
Yes.
On what day was this? Friday, Saturday?
I think this one was Friday, but there is a Saturday too. Okay. So
this is the main, like, it's also like it's right next to the food court. It's a very popular area. You usually cannot walk on these without fearing of tripping over a cosplayer. These stairs...
It's gotten better since they redid this, but it used to be worse. These little white blocks are heavily used. They're lit up. They heavily used for photo shoots and stuff. Like, there's always someone over here. Even when it's dead, there's usually photographers over here with cosplayers.
During a con, these stairs are never empty unless it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I am shocked that this was shot at 3 p.m. on Friday, the first day of the con, and there is not a single soul there.
I do have to point out, someone apparently recently says, it's all about angling. You can take a picture and see, and make it look like no one's there. I'm sorry. There's a wall there. There's nobody there. You can't tell me that's angling.
This was their gaming room, apparently, and oh my god.
And I do have something about the gaming room.
So, okay, if any of you have ever been to a convention, you've been to a gaming room, this looks pitiful.
They have a nice variety of games. I will say that because I have something I'm going to read here in a second. But there's usually long lines for everything, especially the dance machine.
The lights are usually dimmed. I'm sorry, this is even Yamacon, which is a smaller convention compared to Ohayocon, had more than this.
Yes. Okay. So apparently the game room was a separate contracted vendor entity that they called in for this. Again, one of those vendors, which I've over all the reviews and stuff that I was looking at for people who are there, wide selection of games, but here's the thing. Game room hours were not long like normal cons. Usually some of them are close to 24 hours, depending. The thing is when the doors are, this company was obviously promised security for their, to go with their hours. Well, when hours came to the point that this was, supposed to be closed, the doors were left open, nobody was in there, and So it was pretty much all of their equipment was left unattended.
Hey, free game machine.
And they didn't know. They weren't told this. So, and it says, yeah, see, security was told. Security didn't care. This wasn't their problem. That's exactly what they said. And this obviously this company trusted the con to protect them, and they didn't. Some con goers actually went and found the company, you know, the people that were running this, and told them, and they were extremely thankful to be told, and they shut the door for them. So like that's ridiculous. I get, you know, most outside companies bring in the games, but when you promise to protect them and they don't care. I do have some pictures that were screenshot from a video, and it was that was when the doors were locked. Like, they were supposed to be locked, and they were not.
See, we got it. Okay, so same picture, couple, pretty much the same three pictures. I wanted to get them all
together.
So this person says photos shared online of Ohayocon at 3 p.m. on Friday. It's basically a liminal space from a survival horror game, and for good reason. That reason alone, I kind of wished we could have went, because we could have taken some amazing horror photos. It's unfortunate that it came to this, but I'm glad to see everyone standing in solidarity with the volunteers and staff that were fired or left the con after getting union busted by awful execs. The staff and volunteers are the reason why many cons are successful. Without them, execs are left floundering. Treat your people right.
Before also, since this is usually an area with, where, pre-reg and all that is, I don't remember if I saved the pre-reg photos, but everyone I know at this point has seen them. On Thursday nights, usually you can pick up a badge if you've pre-regged. Well, now we saw it was a decent line picking up pre-reg. However, some people didn't state in that first comment, that wasn't just pre-reg. They were offering people to get people in the door to purchase their badge at the pre-reg price that night, even if they didn't pre-reg. So it was regular registration and pre-reg. Well, nobody knew what was going on. People said they waited 30 minutes while staff just stood there twiddling their thumbs when that was supposed to be open. Anybody that usually, because we get QR codes now, and they'll scan it and they'll find you in the system. Well, there were several people that stood there holding the code out, and I can't find you in the system. Scan the code. Nobody told them, oh, that's what that's for. Like, but that's not even the it of it. Like, then you'd get someone who's in that line who was told that they could just buy their badge. Okay, they're told, okay, well, we're doing pre-reg, you have to go back to the end of the line. They were sending people back to the end of the line again because they weren't pre-reg, they were buying their badge. And apparently Sunday...
When usually at cons, they have separate lines for that. Yeah,
I have a picture. I'll get to the thing about Sunday stuff. But I've had a lot of people say little to no signage directing anybody in there. There was no staff to be found in the main areas, so they were asking other con goers where to go. Where is this? Because I can't find this. Apparently, the dealer's room, which I'll touch on when we get to that photo.
Okay, there's
some memes.
Yeah, there are some memes.
This I think was Saturday. Because of the empty space. Think about it. When a business or something starts closing, Spirit of Halloween moves in. So, there's a lot of memes. There was one where someone stuck a ball pit in the center of something, and.
But yeah, once again, these stairs are usually packed with people.
Even the side next to the stairs is another common area where there's a smaller photo shoot area in the back. There's like a coffee shop thing that used to be there, and they're charging tables now. Yeah. Nothing. Some of these people, they drove by and got pictures from the inside.
Yeah, and
this is Friday night.
Yeah, and as you can see, it doesn't look like.
The stairs alone, upstairs, that's a photo shoot spot. Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
Like, there's no signage or anything. Like, there's nothing there that even shows that a convention is currently going on. Yes, you've got some people mulling about, but it is nothing compared to what it usually is.
Yeah, the top of that main staircase that we just talked about people sitting, if you look back all the way over under the next, where the other stairs go up, that's usually packed with people because the hotel bar is right there.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
Yeah. The at the top where all the green lockers are, she's talking about the area right below it. Yeah, there is a bar.
The lockers
there.
are new.
There is a bar there, and that's usually a packed area. Here's the rave.
All right, so I've got some stuff on the rave and that I just found out like an hour ago.
Or as some cons are trying to now call them, glow stick dances. Now, guys, usually it's dark. There's lights going all over the place.
You've got hoopers. You've got people with the long glow sticks, things like that.
Now we've been to small cons where the rave does look like this because it's a small convention.
But that's to be expected.
Yeah. Ohayocon,
never, ever.
This is not Ohayocon level that it's ever been.
So I found out some things. There was some rules. No dance circles, or you'd be kicked out. So the big circles that people gather in, where a different person will go in the middle and dance or have fun, the fun
happens
stuff.
At every con.
Yes, nothing ever bad happens. That's the thing. You would be kicked out. Staff was allowing people to walk in and openly carry alcohol. Yeah, people have slipped it in before. No, they were literally walking in like this with a bottle of alcohol in their hand. You could see what it was. Open containers.
We are not sponsored by Gatorade.
No, we're not. But they were walking in like that with children, with minors. Apparently, and the thing is, all they were concerned about is the badge. That was it. They were letting their children run around everywhere, which could have been absolutely disastrous. Anyone that has been in any of these rooms, whether it's for a dance, for a panel, a main event, there is cords, even if they're taped down. There is expensive equipment. You don't let your children run around unattended and not carrying it. For the fact the minors, and apparently people, they said that someone up to the cops, because there was a lot of cops in the convention, because obviously they didn't have any security. The cops openly, they knew there was minors, kids, and alcohol, open alcohol in there. Nothing was done. If you were dancing too, close and stuff like that, or seemingly harassing, they would get kicked out too.
Wait, what? So if a couple was dancing...
No. Anything starting anything...
Okay.
Yeah. Staff also didn't seem to care about anything. In regards to this, they're just like they couldn't be bothered. So, yeah, the rave that's a huge concern. And apparently there was someone that kept getting told, staff kept removing them, but they kept coming back in and harassing somebody and getting too close to people, which you can get your con sued for something like that. So, I don't know.
Once again,
another outside. And that's outside.
Say, whoever took these, this is kind of creepy. But I'm guessing it's con goers.
Yeah, there were some that they couldn't go.
Oh.
So they decided to stand with, the volunteers and the staff. They drove by because they refused to cross the picket line.
Now, once again, this area, I think I know where this is. Is this not near...
It's outside main events.
Okay, yeah. So this is near where the Cosplay Contest is usually held. I believe it's also near the area where...
The old dealer's room. They put it back where it was.
Once again, usually packed to the gills. You've got people sitting all over the floors and all that. And it looks like once again, it does not look like the weekend of a long-running con that's been there since, the early 2000s?
2016, I believe.
I thought it was 2001.
No, 2006, not 2016, sorry.
I thought it was 2001. I saw someone put something 2001 to 2024.
The current, no, that's what it is. The current con head says that she's been in charge since 2006. That's not true, but whatever.
But yeah, just very, very, dead.
The memes. I'm sorry. Everyone delivered this weekend. Some of the memes. This was one because it was a GIF, and that's exactly how everyone, you'd feel walking in there looking like that.
Okay, so this was about the Cosplay contest. Now, usually at conventions, cosplay contest is one of the biggest events there. It's like any other award show, pretty much.
And most, I do compete. So I was really interested on how this, because we were going to go like before the big shit came out.
Yeah.
And I was going to compete. Well, they emailed me trying to get me to continue to compete. I said, I'm sorry, I'm not going. But this is what I was interested in.
So yeah, one of them says that they announced 4 hours before it was that the show was even supposed to go on, that they had over 20 spots still open. Okay, even when we go to small cons, that's unheard of.
As a competitor and a judge, when I judged, we had some set stuff that you could walk in on one day only, but other than that, like, no, that wasn't a thing. You'd in the one, like, yeah, you just, if you get to the point where there's not enough, that's just it. Like,
the judges were pretty much begging people to come to
some were also acting like nothing was wrong.
Yeah. And then it turns out, okay, so at a lot of these cons, except Yamacon's the only one that does
completely different playing field.
Yeah, does not do skits. Personally, I don't like skits. It's the same thing every single year.
You'll get a few that are kind of cool.
It's either Hatsune Miku dancing, it's either idol dance things. It's very rarely someone actually singing or acting, though you do get them every now and then. It just makes the show run way too long. And, like, you can tell when you look around, people are losing interest really quickly. But they only had 7 performers. That's still kind of the number of performers
kind of the
they
norm,
usually get.
yeah.
But only 16 craftsmanship contestants. Is that not the lowest one?
Yeah. As someone who spent years in novice hell alone, that's not even close to the number in novice.
Yeah.
Maybe if you get to like
if we had went, you could have been the only one in journeyman and you would have won by default.
Yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't have wanted it that way, but like, yeah, that's not even like a fraction of most big. This is a big convention, so we're talking on a big scale.
Yes, it's considered a big one.
So let's compare anyone like, let's say Colossal Con, because that's a giant convention too. So it's on a somewhat similar scale.
It's bigger than Ohayocon.
It is. It is much bigger. But the competition-wise, you have a whole section of novice. That's 16, maybe like journeyman.
Yeah,
if you're lucky.
Masters is usually the smallest.
But usually, even that's too much for journeyman. But like, so like, now maybe one of the big cons, journeyman would have like 16 people. But novice is the biggest section. Have 16 overall.
I feel sorry for whoever had to MC that show.
Apparently, I found out even like the trophies and like the awards and stuff like that, they were hastily, quickly, and very badly put together. Like, it was just kind of like...
What was it, lettering on a construction paper?
I'm sure not far from, but they looked like someone just, here. Like, I don't know. But apparently it was not great. I feel bad for the cosplayers that did put in for that, because to me, there's some, like, some of them might feel this is kind of a joke. Like, you go to be among and see what the others have created. Like, that's not right. I'm sorry.
Here's the dealer's room. Now, even though this looks big, compared to the past, this whole room should be filled. Now, this is not the room they were in last time we went.
This is the original room. Yeah. Where, okay, so let me explain back before so you understand this picture. This is completely redone, like where the chairs are, that never used to be there. This was under construction for several years. Obviously 2020 pushed it back. But this room alone was tiny. They've added some extra space, but the upper level ring, like the horseshoe at the very top, is artists, like original artists, since they don't do fan art. This bottom section is usually so congested with people.
You have to wait in line.
You have to wait in line to get through anywhere. Now, obviously, there are some vendors that decided not to attend, so there's a bit more space because they decided just to take the loss. But there's some other vendors that can't afford to do that. So
I feel sorry for Paw Star. I see them there. They
yeah,
probably...
a lot of these vendors though they do have online sales for others. Like there's some 5 Wit Wigs is one that is listed.
And
they didn't attend, but they're giving us a discount for the con weekend. I do have something about the dealer's room.
Now, to drive this even more home, the room that they were originally using, because I think I've been to an Ohayocon before where they were using this. They moved to the much bigger room, and they could fit the dealer's room and artist's alley all in one room. Like, it's that big. I don't know why they keep on refusing to use it. They probably... Well, this year, obviously, they knew if they went in that room, it would look awful.
Yeah.
But it's... Yeah.
Okay, so another thing with that, I found out, actually, right before we started filming, it was a post that I couldn't save, but somebody, the dealer's room, there was a lot, almost everyone they talked to, because they actually went and asked, nobody made their table cost back. Nobody made their space cost. They were like $1,000 for the spaces or more, depending on how big your space was. Apparently I found out that's like $400 more than other bigger cons. That's outrageous. But a lot of them, they were not making their money. They were refused refunds, so they were pretty much either you have to take the loss and not go, or you have to go and try to salvage that weekend to at least give something to obviously the people that were going to support them, because a large chunk of people still went to support them. There was more things, but like I said, there's a lot that just cut the loss and didn't go, which if you can afford to do that, that's fine. That's why, like, again, 5 Wit Wigs, some others, the tag is no Ohayocon on a lot of things. They were offering you a discount on their website. So any of those artists, I'd love to go and support a bunch of them online since they did not make their sales.
All right, this one's kind of funny. All right.
Funny and made me so heartbroken for him, though. So.
Yeah. Okay, so who you said this
is
voice?
Caleb? Yes. Yeah. No, this is he sang on the Ruby album. He's very known for his cover of Red Like Roses.
Oh, him.
This is him. Okay. Yes, he did Hero on 7. The song Hero, Ironwood song.
It's been a while.
Ironwood song. I think it's on 7. Sorry guys, it's been a while. We're usually up on this, but this is him. I wanted to meet him really bad. That's another reason why another reason would have loved to have gone had not all this blown up. But
yeah, so you have a guest, and no matter who your guests are at cons, whether they're voice talent, singers, or anything like that, artists, you treat them like a VIP. Okay, you treat them with whatever they need. If they need an aspirin, you go get them a whole thing of aspirin. If they need a toilet really bad, you bring them a portable toilet to set right there whenever they need it. This guy shows up for an autograph session, and staff not only didn't know he was supposed to be in that room, they had nothing set up for him.
No table, nothing.
Nothing. So while they had to wait for them to bring the table in, you can see here, they set all of his stuff in the floor, and he gave a lecture on some chips that
Which
he's
apparently
obsessed with.
These Ohio chips are actually they're worth to sit and listen about.
Now, on one hand, it shows that he's a great sport and all that, but still, he probably had words with the staff.
Oh yeah, the thing is okay. I can't remember the name of, but everyone in the community knows there's that one guy that runs certain cons that treats his guests like crap. Let's not be that way, but clearly they're doing something similar to this. And the
woman that's with him on the floor, you can tell she's pissed.
Yeah, his handler. Here's the thing. Anyone who wants to say that, oh well, the guests weren't that bad, no, or like the things that they had weren't that bad. No, I'm sorry. You do something like this to them, they're never gonna come back.
No.
But you can't turn around and tell me that this isn't an issue. well, the guests knew beforehand all this stuff going on. No, they're bound by a contract. You cannot tell me that, oh, well, they knew about this, so they're doing a smear campaign against the people boycotting. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. You don't understand contracts. You can't get out of them unless it's family, personal issues. It comes back on you, and it makes you look unprofessional, which there's another thing with panels that I found out last minute, too.
Because you can get sued for not fulfilling a contract, even at a convention.
Don't know what happened here, but we're not sure who did it.
I mean, it's just it's a lonely, empty escalator.
No. It looks like that. Look at the bottom. The black railing that makes it move, that you put your hand on when it moves, is completely ripped off the whole thing.
Oh. Well, that's more on the convention center. Like, that's something they need to fix, so I wouldn't really blame the con for that.
But the lack of security and safety around... It obviously wasn't prevented, because we've been to that convention center how many years, and that's never happened.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that this is during con time and these escalators are constantly busy and there's no one.
It's
even
one
there.
thing if they stop like steps, but this is dangerous.
Yeah, I did not even notice the railing.
Yeah, it's okay. None of us. A lot of people didn't like. Oh, I see it now. Like, yeah.
So this is from the actual page. Jess included this, I think, just to show, we had already talked last night that we were going to do a video on this.
So I want to thank this person, Calvin, here for actually mentioning this, because this is I hope a lot of other people take this up too. Like, I even commented back on it later saying, we're doing this.
We may not be the YouTubers they were hoping for, because we're not as huge as some others, but still.
But this con, obviously, again, means a lot to us, so this is something we wanted to touch on. Okay,
this is funny. This seems really funny. So this is by the actual Ohayocon page, telling they are feeling excited at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Did you come Friday or Saturday and want to join us again for our final day of the con? Now, please remember, if you don't go to con, Sunday is the least busy. There's not much going on, and a lot of things do kind of close early that day. So, but like, hyping up Sunday is already like a lot of people don't even go Sunday.
We usually go in Kigu's to go play drum game or last round of the dealer's room. Yeah. That's it.
Bring your Friday or Saturday wristband to registration in the B pod of the Greater Columbus Convention Center, and we'll upgrade you to a full weekend badge that includes Sunday for just $20. So you're going to charge someone $20 to upgrade to a full weekend badge just for one day.
Here's the thing that makes this even better.
The math doesn't math, Watson. What does it mean?
Here's the thing. They were announcing a lot of this every 10 minutes through the loudspeaker to come and there's people defending, saying that's how a promotion works. I've been to cons for 10 years now. That has never been a thing.
I'll tell you what it means.
Desperate.
They lost their ass this weekend, so they were trying their best to rack up some more money, and it didn't work.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there. Again, were ghosting. So like, and then this came out. It was sent to us. This is now rumor. Okay, I'm not take this with a grain of salt at the moment.
It does say speculation. You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this is probably the last year Ohayocon will be in Columbus. Now, to keep in mind, a few years back, we were also told that Ohayocon might be no more after a couple of years, and it never materialized.
It didn't, but then again, big changes were made at that point that did turn the con back around again. So, but I'm sorry, they fell lower here than they ever have.
Yeah, if things my friends are speculating, which once again, speculation, on go the way they say it'll be in Cincinnati next time and it won't be the same. We don't want it down here. How do I stop that? Really?
I'm sorry, that was kind of funny.
Really? What have you heard? Nothing concrete, just that a bunch of things are starting to add up, and it's looking like her, the con head.
She who must not be named has been her thing now.
Whole plan was to kill the con in Columbus and move it to Cincinnati to be closer to home base. That, and she filed for the trademark for Ohayocon, but made it seem as if she was the sole owner and creator of the con.
Okay, now, there's been a lot that's like also been said about that, and I actually have found out from one of our good friends. Brittany told me that apparently any cons that go to Cincinnati don't survive. Kind of like Gallenberg. Um, so one, that's stupid, but clearly no one wants it there either. Like, if this was her whole plan to kill the con, well, congratulations, because you've already got that jumping head start there. But it's
this just screams greed. It screams pettiness.
this is my toy. You can't touch it, look at it, or play with it. But here it is.
If this is true, of course. But
well, that's
I
in
mean,
general.
already firing everybody and all that. It's already not a good look.
All right, what other ones do we have left? Okay.
This is from the video.
Yes, this video, I tried to screenshot it because I couldn't save the video, so thank you for who posted this. This goes back to the story I said about when the game room was closed.
Now,
this is expensive equipment.
Yes, this is the other
consoles.
Yeah, because there's usually two game rooms at cons. There's one where like all the arcade-like games, and then there's ones where they have consoles ranging from PS5s, Xbox Series X and S.
Old consoles you can't even find anymore.
Xbox Ones, PS4s.
There's imported
PS3s,
stuff.
PS2s, PS1s, Nintendo 64s, GameCubes, Wii's, Switches.
And anything, any game system that was imported, they've got some of those too.
Yamacon even had a Super Famicom, you know, the Japanese Super NES.
And you can see most of them, you can kind of tell they're in the little locked cages, but here's the thing, the right person walks in there and just picks it up and walks away.
Yeah.
Called, they got metal cutters. It's, but there was a couple screendhots of this.
So you said this was when it was closed?
Yes, this was when it's closed. Nobody I know it's a little blurry, sorry.
Yeah, because it is a video. They're sweeping the area.
Nobody to be found. These guys pulled the door shut and locked it. And went, you know, they obviously told staff first, went back and locked the door and found the ones who ran this and told them, and they thanked them for telling them and shutting the door, because that's, God, I can only imagine how much that total would add up to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they had PS5s, that's
I think
$500
This was Saturday. There's a little more people in there, but like...
Still nothing compared to what it's supposed to be. Saturday is always the most busy day of the con. And this, like, I'm sure anyone who went to the game room had fun because they could play the game literally all day and not have to stop for people waiting in line.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see, which one's this one? Oh, the food court.
I know this is such a small area of it, but, like, this is a main pathway because there's a hallway behind.
And the food court is always full.
Yeah,
throughout the entire day.
Yeah, when you see a spot open, you run.
The only time it's not 100% full is, of course, late at night. But still, I don't eat Subway while we're there, but
the line is long, usually.
Yes, and, like, here you can just walk up and... I'm
sure the Velvet is over here in the corner. It's their ice cream store.
Great place. If you're ever in Columbus and go to the Columbus Convention Center, go to Velvet. That is some of the best ice cream you will ever have.
That chicken and eggs in the Greek place.
Yep.
Amazing. But the thing is because that's a main thing. Nothing.
Yeah. Though be careful of the Greek place. They'll charge you like $60 for a Coke.
You got refunded. It was an accident.
I know, but it's still a funny story.
It is a funny story. Okay, the memes. I had to save this one because
Didn't Brittany send
Brittany
you this?
showed that to me last night.
Yeah.
But it's just being us, I had to include the Dragon Ball meme.
Yeah. Let's fight somewhere empty. Let's fight at Ohayocon 2024.
There was another one that someone posted also. It was the insert Sarah McLachlan's angel.
Now, this is what you were talking about earlier. So,
yes.
So who posted this said it is now the Monday of Ohayocon, so I'm guessing the Monday before the weekend.
Yes, this is before the con started. I didn't find this until today, so.
And according to the programming sheet, they have no staff for gaming department.
Besides World 9, which is the separate company.
Yeah. No director of attendee services already. If you don't have someone there for the attendees, close the con down, like cancel it. Like, No customer service. What's DH mean? Department head, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so there's no one there to lead for customer service. No accessibilities department head. No one for the room of relaxation. That's where you go if you're like having an anxiety attack.
It's a quiet space. It's a quiet, safe space to be. So, which goes in with accessibility. Those two
sensory
things,
overload,
yes,
stuff like
those
that.
two things specifically are a huge issue to not have.
No sign language interpreters. I thought you were legally supposed to have those.
Yes. So I don't know how they got away with that.
No director of operations. No one's leading this thing. No IT personnel. So if anything breaks equipment-wise, you're SOL. No loss prevention. No load-in coordinator.
And there was some posts about...
There was no one there to help the vendors load in?
But that we knew of. At this point, there wasn't. There was people posting about stuff that they've lost, like a wallet. Thanks to other con-goers, things were found. So, like...
No coordinator for panel programming.
And I've got something to touch on panels after this.
On top of this, there has been no word on the panel schedule.
Which that did get released. So, panel schedule. I took a look at that. Guests weighed heavy on those panels and then there was a bunch of the normal, because they're all color-coded on blocks, which every con does. Well, there was some that were in the white blocks, which are usually, fan-run panels. Apparently, there was a lot of them, which was a little shocking. But here's the thing. A lot of the same people were running them. And I found out, again, a few minutes before we started recording, a lot of panels that were listed. But several of them, those people running them had months ago declined running them. They were accepted and they declined them. It's speculation, but this is what it's looking like.
Well, before you say that, I just want to go ahead and say for future reference, if you don't have any of this for your con for the weekend, cancel the con. If there's no legal stuff that's going to come out of this, I'm going to be shocked. Because that's
okay,
bad.
So I have run panels. I've been a part of panels. You have to apply for them and you get accepted. The right thing to do is if you're not going, because all these people that did and just didn't, because they apparently several minutes, every so often, you'd hear this panel's canceled. This panel's canceled. This one's suddenly canceled. Because
it's like
they
them
left
calling for the blue light special of canceled panels.
Well, they were leaving them on the schedule, but here's the thing. A lot of people are starting to summarize here. They left them on there specifically because, not that we think this event's going to happen much more in the future, if it does at all. You don't show up to a panel because you're listed, you're supposed to be coming. If you don't show up, that makes you look unprofessional. It makes you look like you don't need to run a panel, and it will bar you from future events. That looks bad on you when you've clearly messaged in and said, I'm no longer attending. Or even a lot of people gave the reason why. I'm not crossing a picket line. I'm not coming to the con. Cancel my panel. But this was news to a lot of people who decided not to go, canceled their panels. Oh, we still listed yours. It was to make it look like a full convention. I'm sorry. There's everything wrong with that. You don't do that. Like...
What do we got next? Oh, more stairs.
Yeah, that's actually Saturday.
Wow.
That
is Saturday?
Yes, here's the thing. Somebody posted this picture because... and they got...
I didn't know what this stuff on the side
was. It was just from their phone. But here's the thing. I found out a little more about this.
That's awful.
There is their group, because somebody is defending all of this. Yes, there is. And
there always is. There's somebody.
This is the person who said it's all about angling to make it look like no one's there.
What angle could you do to make this look better?
The other photo.
I know, but still, even with that one, there was no angle.
They purposely walked over, took this picture from this side up the side of the wall
okay.
to give you proof nobody was in there, and they blocked and banned them from the group. Like at least I've seen at least 20 different people so far in the last hour that have been blocked and banned from the group because they were posting proof or asking for that person's proof. Like, he was defending all this
Well,
stuff, and they asked for proof, block and ban.
Yeah, because on that first picture, there's no different you can't all of a sudden switch your angle on the same picture and people magically appear.
Yeah, no. And the thing is that's why this person specifically stepped closer, so you can see up the side of that wall where
And
they
like,
were claiming people were.
But the thing is, this is Saturday.
Yeah.
Those stairs, there are standing room only on Saturday. I just can't get over that.
Okay.
This is the vendors.
Yes, this is some of the vendors, because, like, and as you can see at the top, they're currently working more to try and get more of a list, because unlike the dealers that they usually always list on the app, they didn't list their their artists. And I'm pretty sure they did it specifically because it means you have to come and do this. No. So now some of these did not go. Like 5 Witwigs didn't go, but they're having sales for Ohayocon. You can see their Ohayocon tag. But a lot of these people were starting to list. They're still working through to try to find anybody else that maybe... I was hoping someone would go through and grab... either take pictures of QR codes for companies or their business cards, because that way we can go and support these artists.
So if you want to support any of these artists, just go ahead, pause the video, and look for the link you want to use. And I think, like Jess said, once she's able to get a full list, she'll put them all in the description.
Yeah, because, like, and it's probably going to take time, or if we'll even get a full list, but go and support them.
No, it'll be under lock and key like everything else.
Yeah, really, because, yeah. Oh yeah, this is another thing I found out.
Yeah, at the moment, all we know is that it is also intended as a feedback panel based on the description on Guidebook. Apparently, they provided a QR code to attendees that linked to a Google form for feedback that was up for consideration to be discussed. And guess what?
It's gone now.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, because people were asking, they wanted to... Someone said live stream the closing ceremonies. Everyone wanted to know. No one got to, because everyone's trying to find out what happened. And apparently they're going off the feedback, they enjoyed going, there was less people, it was less crowded. Nobody was there for a reason. These
people are so transparent.
I'm sorry, but it's like they're going off of these little things, and it's just like, you're missing the big picture. Are you walking around like this? Like, that's the whole, again, like my eyes are closed, I can't see this. This isn't happening.
Well, yeah, the con head and whoever's close to them, they're all doing the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Yeah,
So there you go. Ohayocon 2024 was a bust. And if, like we said, if all the speculation is true, it was all greed, pettiness, ignorance.
I'm sure we'll get some thumbs down for this. I really don't care, because...
Well, it's not like dislikes really matter anymore anyway.
I'm sorry, they
don't even show up.
No, this is the truth, and for everyone who has, this has been a beloved con to them, who's been there for years, I've been following so I could actually I wanted to understand what was happening. I wanted to make sure, where I stood, what was correct. I mean, yeah, there's obviously usually fault on both sides, which I'm sure there is, but, like, I'm sorry, there's too much on their side that's not right, because she outed herself, a lot of the other people have outed themselves, and the little ones that want to cry about it, go ahead.
At the end of the day, if you're going to do business with other people, make it to where everyone comes out of it. I don't want to say profitable, but at least make sure everyone comes out to where it was worth it.
Take care of your staff.
Because at the end of the day, a long-standing convention may be gone forever, because apparently they didn't even make enough money to even have the con next year.
That's another thing is, well, one, they're also trying to figure out numbers of attendance. It needs to be after refunds, because obviously a lot of people didn't go. But that's the thing is
if there's anyone that's above this particular individual, I think they do need to be asked to step down, especially before they succeed in copywriting anything. But yeah, take care of your staff. Don't fire them just because you've done a crappy job of being a boss. Don't have guests come and have to give a seminar on potato chips while they wait for a table and chairs.
They didn't wait. They went. He had somebody, his staff, go and find them themselves and drag them in.
Part of my point is, take care of your guests. Take care of your vendors who spent a lot of money to even be there, and knowing that their sales is what they're counting on.
It's their livelihood.
And pretty much the way you decided to do business screwed them all over. And you screwed a lot of con attendees over. A lot of long attending ones. And it's not a great way to do business. This is probably one of the... What was that one con that tried to...
Samurai Con.
Samurai Con.
There's a meme that someone said, see Samurai Con sinking. It says, come back.
Yeah, it was a con that tried to start up during the same weekend as Ohayocon because, once again, like we said, Ohayocon has never been free of problems. It has pissed other people off before. And so they tried to start up a new con. It was not a success. But even that did not have a crash and burn as bad as this. Seeing these pictures, it's like seeing just people hanging out randomly on the weekend in cosplay. It does not look like a convention was being held.
There's even people that have posted on the Ohayocon page, the dumpster fire one that I still follow, that have said, I have years of experience of running events. I'm serious about we should try to just start another convention something to replace what was originally one of the biggest cons in that time.
Let it rise from the ashes.
Yes. Obviously, they were joking about calling it Ohayocon, like actual state Ohayocon.
I don't know about that, but I still think it needs to be like a Japanese word.
Well, yeah, it was a joke, but it's just...
It's sad. It's unfortunate.
It's heartbreaking, and it became one of our own traditions. Like, we did the con, we did our little con Christmas, things like that. We had a whole thing planned around it. We got to the point where we were probably gonna just go up for that weekend, even if we didn't go. But it's just really hard to really look at something like this, that it fell that fast. Yeah.
All because of one person. And
her followers.
And just not having people available to run the thing. Not having people there to provide sign language, and accessibilities for people who may have disabilities. That's just asking for trouble. I'm not going to get into it here because we've already been going over an hour. But hopefully you guys watched all the video. Like I said, we usually don't do videos like this, but since it was something that...
It's pretty close to our hearts.
Close to our hearts. An event we've been to many times. We've got the badges to prove it. We just wanted to cover this because the people who were trying to show the error of these people's ways and how bad the convention went, they wanted YouTubers to cover this, so it was like, hey, let's do it.
Give a voice to the support of the staff and the artist, and give a voice to those who...
The voice of the voiceless.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone that's trying to show, no, this is what was happening, and them trying to just dust it under the rug. No, we got a little out of focus, sorry. There. But that's...
It's still not recovered. Oh, well, I guess we're ending this video on focus. But check in the description. Eventually, all the names of the vendors will be in there. So if you want to support them, get some nice fan art or something like that, you can. But we're going to end this. We've already been talking way too long. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave a comment. As always, this is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.